Good morning, everyone. Time for a quick analysis here. I made a promise here that I was going to send a few folks a quick analysis just to give you a little bit of an idea of what it is that I say or what it is that I mean when I say lows and highs. And obviously, anytime you have an uptrend, so we're going to look at the gold market, the silver market, also the U.S. dollar. So again, anytime we're looking at a long-term market, right, we want to look for uptrends or downtrends. Obviously, we always want to stick with the trend because the trend is your friend, right? So anytime we're looking at these markets, so the way we determine to see if they're in a bull market or in a bear market is really by looking at highs and lows, right? So for example, in a case like this, see the market rallies off of this high here. Once you have a breakout, this initial level here of 457, this is gold back in 2004. So you have a high of 455, you come down, this level becomes resistance. The second you surpass it and you have what's called a breakout. Once you have this breakout, then you look for the market to retest this level. 455, which was originally resistance, now turns support, and you look to buy there, you look to take this thing higher. And again, we're always looking at the sequence of higher highs and higher lows, and you can see here that we have a really solid bull trend here, right? Then you have now some consolidation, right? The market consolidates for quite some time, it breaks above the high, and again you come up, you retest this level, the market continues to go higher, right? So if I'm looking at gold here in this market, what I've seen is this market we had the highs were getting lower, right? And so were the lows, right? So all these highs, as you can see, they're all getting lower, right? Just a very awesome definition of a bear market here. And now what you have here, and the reason why I'm always saying that gold has started a bull market is because the sequence was broken here. And now you have a situation where the highs on a short term, they're getting higher, right? And so this sequence has been broken. So anytime the sequence is broken, now you look for the trend reversal. You have some really long-term side consolidation for the last couple of years. Who knows? From here, it looks like the market might even do something like this. But again, technically speaking, if you want this market to be a bull market, and if I want this market to be a bull market, technically I don't want this market to fall below here, because now on a long term, on a short term, we saw all the levels of resistance being taken out. Now you saw the big move to the downside. Now what you're expecting to see is the next move up. So on a longer term basis, right, now you have your low, your high, your low, and you want your high to be somewhere around over here, right? And I think gold is a great trade right here. I think gold will begin its ascent here, and very much like it has before in the past, these highs are just of a representation of a fiat currency. It'll always continue to go high because fiat currencies will just continue to break down. And what you saw here, right, is what you're seeing right now, right? This level here is, you see how it turns small? It just gets smaller and smaller as the market continues to rise, right? And I personally believe that this here is just a long-term big consolidation of one of these consolidations. Eventually, gold will break this level here to 1900, and from there it'll be easy to predict that the market will go easy to 3,000 or 4,000. Definitely, no doubt in my mind that that's what's going to happen, right? So that's the gold market. I'll look at the silver market here briefly. I think you guys are kind of getting the idea, right? So we had silver with the high, low, higher, a lower high, lower low. Finally broke through this low, right? These are still higher, highs getting lower. Finally broke above all of these levels here, right? Now you have a high and you have a low here. Okay, so silver's low is at 1561. I I don't want silver to go below that level. Silver is much more volatile. It can happen, but if it does happen, as long as it stays above 1370, 1363 is the low. As long as it stays below here, technically silver can still do something like this. All right. Is it likely? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's highly unlikely. I think these big moves suggest lots of buyers here in the silver market. And again, we've taken out all the main levels of resistance here, this one and this one. So again, silver's looking very positive. I like silver's buying here. All right, if I'm looking to buy silver on a long term, I like the idea. Right, even at that trend, it'll still work out. So for silver, I was really waiting for this level. My orders never picked up. Really, that's the level I was looking to buy around 1620, 1625. We saw a low of 1634. Didn't pick up my orders. But again, I really like this area here for buying. If silver takes a little bit more of a dip, I'd love to buy. Put a quick stop here below 1650. And just trying to take this thing to the $18 level. I think it'll come back and test this level here pretty soon. You know, the high $17 area. So again, great risk to reward. If we see a breakout above here to wrap, silver's just going to take off. It's going to go to 21. Above 21, it's even more bullish. And last but not least, here we'll do the US dollar. And the US dollar here, you can clearly see that the highs are getting higher. And then you have that disruption here. The lows now are getting lower, so are the highs. I really like the idea of selling the US dollar if the dollar comes down here to this level. Okay, if the dollar comes up here to this level, then I like the idea of selling and having the market continue to go down, because again, just a very easy trend here, very technically sound, the US dollar. So the highs are getting lower, so you'd expect the high to be here. Great risk to reward coming down over here. So you'd probably risk about 120 to make about 300. That's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye-bye.